Now I want to sharpen. The roughing gouge is actually one of the easy tools to sharpen because all we're going to do is find my current angle because I know that's comfortable for me. Move this to that angle so that I know that that's the angle I'm at. Lock it. All right, now often I go to schools and people's shops and I see that the middle of their tool is really low and they have big sharp points here, which I call ears, here and here. Now that might work for some things because I believe in like looking at what you have, trying to utilize whatever you've ground, but you got to know what you have. So if you have these big sharp ears, that's really going to be for getting into some kind of a detail or something. But for regular roughing, that if this part right here goes up and it's sharp right here, that's just going to hit a curve or a shoulder and it's going to gouge it out. So the reason that happens is that people come to sharpen this and they just go like this. If you go back and forth like this, you're hitting the middle twice for every time you hit an end. So it's taking the middle down really quickly. So come here, and I often take a pencil and put a specific mark of where I want to go. So we'll say that's the mark of where I want to go. So I put this pencil mark. You see this pencil mark I have right here. That just tells me that when I come here to sharpen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to keep my tool 90 degrees to this edge and hit that mark. And then I'm going to come back. And you're always going from one edge. You could think of it as like a pool cue, right? So just work your way like this. And that will give you this consistency. You don't want to go like this. See, if you're flying all over the whole face of your stone, it's going to be problematic because now you're at a different angle and that's going to give you different facets everywhere. But if you think about holding this nice and flat to here and just hitting that pencil line in one place, it's going to give you a nice consistent flat surface. Let's talk a little about the stone. When I want to clear the stone, I use this. It's just called a matrix stone. And I turn this on and make sure you're wearing a dust mask. And I flatten the stone like that. This dust is very toxic, so make sure you're wearing a dust mask. We don't usually, and I always say this, there's always someone who breaks the rules like me. But traditionally, we don't use this side of the stone. If we put a lot of pressure on it this way and there's an imperfection in the stone, it could break. You've probably noticed this. I find sometimes my students who use the Wolverine aren't thinking about their cutting. They're just putting it in the tool and going like this, and they go like this and hit the corner and chunk out stones. No matter whether you're using Wolverine or you're freehand grinding, you have to put your eye here and your brain here and really think what's happening here and stop. You don't want to go all across this stone because that's going to hit like right there, and you're going to get a chunk out of your stone. So really concentrate on keeping your stone flat and picking one point and just working at that one point, and you'll have more consistency of sharpening.